What makes you comfortable in the skin that you're in? An age-old question that society has put a lot of attention and focus and money into. Everything we do seems to be connected with our appearance. How we should look, what we should wear, and how much we should weigh. Endless companies focused on making sure we keep buying clothing, foods, medicine, supplements, and cosmetics. We have influencers pushing exercise routines, eating habits, and mindsets to get the perfect body. We use sex as a tool to sell to our audiences. And now we have AI to trim, chop, change, and smooth out the way we look. All in the name of beauty. So, I'm going to try find the answer to being comfortable in the skin that you're in by becoming a nudist. Are you ready? Now, for those of you that don't know me, a quick history lesson about myself. My name is Michael Risky. I am a 34-year-old dad of 3, a husband of 12 years to a very old, decrepit woman. I've worked in the film and television industry throughout my 20s, and for the last 3 years, I've worked as a producer in the content creator world. But I'm going to go back even further into my childhood. I grew up in the evangelical-style church with the lights, the crowds, and the kids. Then from the age of 18, my journey out of Christianity began. Now, this is not a video about me bagging on my experience of Christianity, but I feel it's important to give you an understanding of my past, especially in this topic. Because if I were to have these conversations that I have in this video as a young person in the church, I would have been condemned, publicly shamed, and my name would have been mud. God is love. Now, I'm not uncomfortable with being naked. In fact, I've been naked in public many times, most recently on a mountain in Serbia singing the Australian national anthem. But I've never actually stood stark naked in front of someone that isn't my wife, and she is a very jealous woman. And the journey I go on in this video goes a lot deeper than just taking off my clothes. If you have body dysmorphia, eating disorders, sexual shame, or trauma, then you need to meet my next guest, Cara. Cara is a love, sex, relationship coach and author of the book, How to Be Naked, and a close friend of mine, and she is guiding me through this journey of self-discovery. This is my community, the cult of Micheal.
Oh.
So good. All right, are you recording? Give me a clap.
1 or 2.
Whatever you feel. Oh, you're decisive. I like that. That's nice. So you're a nudist.
I prefer not to put a label on it, but
okay,
yes,
okay.
You can.
So
yeah, you can call me a nudist.
If we're not labeling things.
Ooh.
There's a dolphin.
Hello.
The main reason we're catching up is because I want to ask the question to the people and to people like you is what makes you comfortable in the skin that you're in, especially in the society that we live in today of even us growing up, the person that's holding the camera, she's like, how old are you? It's my wife.
23.
You're 23? Fuck, that's terrible. We've been together for 13 years. You can't say 23. You need to think about your answers before you say things.
Do you do that? Do you think about your answers?
No, I don't, but I'm different. I'm a white male. So you're someone that's incredibly comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah.
Is that a thing that's just naturally happened, or was there a big, long journey to get there?
No, there was a long journey to get there. And I was actually just even thinking this morning, I was meditating naked. Fuck, maybe I'm a nudist.
That's the quote of the thing. Fuck, maybe I'm a nudist.
So I was meditating naked in front of a floor-to-ceiling length mirror. So it was a process to get here.
Yeah.
And I was thinking how grateful I am because we are taught to not be friends with our bodies.
And most guys are going to be like, I'm friends with my body all the time. In what way has society taught us that we're not friendly to ourselves?
This is getting really serious, really deep, really quickly.
Don't worry, I'll bring it back.
The fastest way to rob any population from their power is to make them hate their bodies and to specifically separate them from their sexuality.
Yeah.
Because when you are connected to your sexuality, you recognize that there is nothing you need outside of yourself.
Okay.
And a population of people that recognizes there's nothing they need outside of themselves is wildly hard to control. Which means that just becoming comfortable in our own skins, saying to our bodies like, yes, I like you. I like the skin I'm in. I like my hair. I like the wrinkles around my face. I like this like giant zit popping up here because our bodies are just communicating to us.
Yeah.
They're just here. We experience the world through them. But if we have the lens that, oh shit, this is wrong.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have pimples. I shouldn't have gray hairs. I shouldn't have cellulite on my thighs. Then we're at war with ourselves.
As a male, I believe you shouldn't have any of that, but let's continue. The fact that we all grew up with shows, what shows we were watching recently? We were watching Charmed. In Charmed, Piper was considered the chubby girl.
In the 90s specifically, that what do they call it? Like heroin chic was in, which is the like skeletally thin people.
Yeah.
So that anyone that was more healthy was branded as overweight, chubby.
When you talk to people about things like nudist beaches, straight away our mindset goes to sex.
It does.
The way that you're talking about connecting your body with sexuality and what society considers sex, which is a lot more shamed and perverted, if you will. Can you explain that a little bit more?
So one of the tools used to separate from our bodies is to make the very things that come naturally to us, pleasure, sex, orgasms, connection. Like we were wired, humans were wired to connect with each other. We're also wired to have sex. We need it to have babies. We have whole pleasure systems inside of us. We have parts of our body that only exist for pleasure, which tells me we must be worthy of pleasure.
Clitoris.
Yay! High five.
Haven't found it yet.
So we were shamed to think that what our bodies do naturally is wrong because sexuality itself has been shamed, but we still have the natural pull towards it. That leaves us with this really uncomfortable distortion within ourselves. Everything related to sexuality becomes a perversion. So yes, nudity equates to sexuality because we have no healthy access to, naked body, just a body.
Yeah.
And if you want to do a quick check on how much sexual shame you carry in your body, next time you're alone in the bathroom or in the shower or something, just say a few words out loud. Just name different body parts. Nose, elbow, eyebrow, kneecaps. And then name parts of your sexual anatomy. Penis, vagina, vulva,
I know what that is.
orgasm.
I know what a vulva is. So I have to say vagina, vulva. No, I have to say penis.
You could.
Making a joke.
So vagina and vulva was more comfortable for you, but penis was like.
No, penis is very comfortable for me. I did a whole video about me getting my penis, the top of my penis chopped, not the foreskin. Have you seen it? It's great. I even wrote a song
Your penis,
about it.
I haven't.
No, you probably
Not
will.
yet.
No, I am quite worried because when I get cold, it's like it's just the top of the penis.
It's just a normal body part. We all have different elbows and nose sizes and stuff. We don't shame those.
Oh no, I shame
Ear
many
sizes.
people for their body.
All right.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I'm very good at recognizing and realizing it's just the body. It doesn't matter, and I can talk the talk. Did you find it difficult then to walk the walk as well? Did you find that the two of those didn't really align?
Yeah, yes, for sure. And it's really easy to intellectualize something. It's really easy to be, oh yeah, I'm fine, I've got this. I can say the words. Like I can talk to other people about their sexualities. I can talk to other people about their bodies. But who doesn't find when they actually do it themselves how hard it is? My journey, my path, I experienced childhood sexual abuse, which you know through your lovely partner because she's read my book. But they do handle it, I think, beautifully. So, childhood sexual abuse, which for most of my life I happily ignored. I do not need to touch this part of my past. I'm fine without it. Until I started freezing my own life. And I stopped getting access to my sexuality first, which has always been an important part of my expression for me. I stopped having access to my creativity. I was picking fights a lot with not only my husband, but my kids as well. I was starting to freeze up because I had trauma that was undiagnosed, unrecognized, untalked about. There was a part of me I was trying to hide from. And I started on this path. I thought I was just building a coaching business. Turns out I was willingly signing up to heal my trauma. So in part of that, I was just called to go down to the nudie beach one day. And I couldn't explain why. It was something that always fascinated me. Liked being naked on my own, but the idea of being naked in public was a little bit So I just felt called to go down there, and I just knew instinctively that it was going to be an important part of my healing. And it was. And so I went down there, successfully got naked. It was accidentally a public holiday, so the beach was packed. Yes, I made it successfully into the water naked with other people around, but then I was hiding from other people still. Why am I hiding from them? They're not the most powerful people on this beach. They can't be, because I am. So I just rose out of the water. No one's watching me. Rise from the water, and I stayed in the water and played like a mermaid. And then I climbed up confidently, and no one looked at me. No one stopped. No one looked. Everyone else is in their own little worlds. They don't care what we're doing.
So that kind of makes you feel like maybe you're not not saying that you thought you're the center of the universe, but maybe it came crashing down that maybe everyone isn't actually thinking about what I'm going through, or... And
more so that I can keep myself safe in my own body. And that strength has carried me through so much, the rest of my healing journey.
Are you kind of at that point now where you're solid as a rock foundation in yourself now, or is it still kind of a thing you continually have to train yourself to do? I'm
much stronger now, but it still comes up. It's always going to. The conditioning is deep, and everyone I know that's working on sexuality or body image or anything, it's going to keep coming up because it's that important to us. Best tool to use is just to return to loving kindness for ourselves as quickly as possible. If you want to be the kind of person that has a whole health approach, so if you're already doing mindset, physical body, nutrition, and you're not doing relationships and sex, then you don't have an approach to whole health.
Yeah.
Not only that, but you can actually improve all of those by only focusing on your sexuality.
Now, boys and girls, I want to make a clear point here. If 4 years ago I heard the information that focusing on your sexuality would improve everything in your life and it was being said by a woman, I would have tried to use this information to manipulate my partner into getting more sex. And that is not the point of embracing your sexuality or this video. It's not about controlling someone to get what you want. Shaming someone into sex is not the answer. Hear it from me, who has made this mistake many times. My upbringing didn't give me the tools and understanding for things like consent and sexuality as an individual or as a partner. And it has been a long and hard journey. Just like my penis. So I'm talking to men especially. Please do not use this as a means to control your partner. Use this as a guide to start your journey of self-discovery, maturity, and healing. And let it start a dialogue with your partner so they can feel safe in their body and with you. And gentlemen, it is up to us to be an example for the generations that follow. Yes, we have made mistakes, but we can choose to learn and become better. And give our kids a better understanding and education about consent and sexuality. Anyway, back to the video.
People are going to know if they have a satisfying sex life and if they don't.
Yeah.
And I would say most people don't.
Yeah.
So if you're switching there watching this, they're like, oh shit, I don't like.
Married
across the board.
Have happy sex lives?
I think almost nobody in our society is having satisfying sex lives.
Yeah.
Let's set that standard. Sex gets better with age. Let's do that.
But do you find when you're talking to male, do you find that the level of oppression in that respect or shame is the same as a woman, Cara?
Yeah, I do, and I think it's worse because we know women have been repressed sexually. That's not a secret. We know that.
It's just a shock to
Surprise!
Women can vote. What more do they want?
Which means that because we know it, then yes, it makes sense when women work on it, right? A woman who's going to reclaim that and work on it for herself, no big surprise. But we cannot repress any one part of society without repressing another. It doesn't work that way. So men are as repressed as women because they only have the outlet of being the person who comes on to people. Any male appreciation of the female figure is perverted. So yes, I think that men are just as repressed as women.
So obviously I've got 2 daughters that I already feel like are going to have so much more of a harder time just with their own appearance. What's something that you've done or that we can do with kids, kind of making them feel less shame from what society's kind of brought up? But especially with the topic of sexuality, you're bringing that up. All of a sudden, we're all going to be run down with pitchforks and things because like you can't talk about sex with kids.
Yeah, but we have to. And if we're not talking to them, someone else is. And the number one thing as parents we can do to help our kids have healthy body image, make friends with their body. Because wouldn't it be amazing if we did it from a young age and we don't have to learn this decades into our adulthood? The number one thing we can do, honestly, is heal our own sexual shame. Because if we haven't, they're going to come to us with questions. Why does my body do this? Why is my body different from this person's? And if we haven't healed our own relationship with our body, the shame's going to come through. So even if we're saying words like, everyone's different, you're perfect how you are, which we believe for our kids, right? We can see them. They're amazing. They're miracles of nature. We can't see that for ourselves. So if we haven't healed our relationship with our sexuality and be comfortable with it, because it is an organic, natural part of life. And until we see it as such, then perversions are going to keep happening. Abuse of all forms are going to keep happening.
Are there any final statements you'd like to make before we go get naked?
Read How to Be Naked, howtobenakedbook.com.
howtobenakedbook.com.
For
lots of images.
For anyone that's experienced any form of sexual trauma, this book, because I've written it from a blueprint of healing, people are having somatic healing experiences while they read it. It's like untapping an energy that's trapped.
My community read a lot of fairy smut.
I love fairy smut.
Yeah. Is this anything like
Court of Thorns and Roses? Yeah, sure. If you love Courts of Thorns and Roses, you'll love How to Be Naked.
Come on, Cara.
Motivational chat,
Let's
dude.
go. Let's go.
Hi.
40 minutes south of Adelaide City, you'll find Maslin's Beach. In February 1975, Maslin's Beach became the first nudist beach in Australia. What better place for me to become a nudist?
this is the beach.
This is the clothed part of the beach, so don't get naked yet.
Don't get naked yet. We've known each other for a while. Our kids went to the same school. It's straight away in your mind, do you not have any sort of self-conscious thing about like...
Being naked in public with you?
Yes.
So my answer is no.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that when it comes time and we're down there that I'm not going to feel uncomfortable. I don't actually know.
Well, you take it out of this year, we're at a nudist beach, but you put it in, we're at your pool just before having a conversation.
Yeah.
Make us naked there.
It probably would have felt weird. Also, I don't know if you've met you, but you're not normal. So.
Is there anything people need to be careful with jumping headfirst into this kind of approach, or taking the whole, well, I'm just going to go fully into sexuality?
The biggest kind of flag I would say to be aware of is if anyone has experienced any form of sexual trauma and they push themselves too far without going slow enough, they can actually re-traumatize themselves. Just go slow. Listen to your body. That's the most important thing. That's all you need to do. Build trust in your own body. Don't pay attention to anyone else's timelines. Know that you're gonna go forward a little bit and then back a little bit, forward a little bit. So just do what's comfortable with you.
What's the process of
doing this?
Doing this. I asked you before, do we have a meditation? What do we do? Like, what do you do?
I always ask myself for consent first.
Okay.
So how this speech
That's such a weird thing I've never considered.
For anyone that's ever had to do something with their body that they didn't want to do, which is hashtag almost all of us at some point in our life. Like we were raised, you have to hug everyone, you have to, you know, as a kid. And I always give myself the choice, which builds trust in myself. So. And side note, if you're having sex with anyone with a vulva or a vagina, then you should always ask like her or their vulva or vagina for permission before entering.
Wow.
We can do that for ourselves. So I can, if I'm putting in a tampon or anything like that, I can ask myself for permission.
Yeah.
And your body will start to speak to you. Yeah. It's a language we're learning, to speak to our own bodies.
So this is going to sound like the oddest thing I'm ever going to say in my life. So when I'm making sweet lovelies to my wife, which I think that's the term we use.
Banging.
When we banging, when we banging, that's Kira's friend. When we banging.
Kira's preferred term is banging.
So Kira's said yes, but I should still ask for permission of Kira's vagina?
Yeah. How does that make you feel?
I don't know if you've met me, but I really ruin moods at the best of times.
So you don't have to stop and say, okay, let me get consent now. Like you can do that. And this is, as a society, something that we're working to learn with the nuance of. Yeah. Like how do we bring it into the moment and not in the mood? And it's simply, you can just hover your hand probably over it and simply say like,
are you ready?
Exactly.
An aura, or it's a mindset, or
energy of not demanding and not going somewhere you don't have permission to enter.
Yeah. Okay.
So each ask your body, is it okay with you?
Yeah.
If we do this. Like, is it okay if I get naked now?
Okay.
And that's the only real ritual I do.
I don't think I need a ritual, and I don't think I need to ask Kira's vagina if I can do it either. Can I ask your vagina if I can get naked now? Vagina says no every time. Okay, so I'm gonna get naked now, and you know, Pop and Cara are just watching. Okay, so we're doing. Okay, let's back up a bit. All right, so bananas first. I've got bananas on.
Excellent choice for today.
Thank you. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird.
It's weird because we're standing here watching.
It's weird because I've got an audience watching.
And video, two different cameras.
And as soon as I do it, all of you are just going to go, there it is. Yeah, I know you're not, because every time it comes out, you're like, oh, all right, here we go. See, old man over there's having a great time. Okay, so.
Here comes the person.
There it is. I'm naked now and you've just stopped filming. So this is who I am, Cara.
Hi.
This is everything.
Lovely to meet you. You look great.
Thank you. So I'm now naked at a nudist beach.
You did it.
I did it. I feel really conscious about my thighs rubbing right now.
Do it.
Is that a thing?
That's a thing, yeah.
That's a thing. This is weird. I'm not gonna lie, this is strange. This is a strange feeling because you literally feel the wind on everything. Like, it's very freeing. I'm not trying to be stereotypical here. But after about 30 seconds of feeling, you know, like everyone's staring at my cock, I feel very comfortable. I look at your face, you're not comfortable, but are you circumcised? What do you think? Now I've got my friend here. Let's all enter in Cara.
I just thought I would appear next to you naked.
And this is what happens when you go to a nudist beach. You get a suddenly beautiful woman. How does
Don't
this feel?
tell them that, because that's not what happens. It's mostly men down here, actually. It's mostly.
I have noticed there is a lot of schlong.
Yeah, it's mostly men.
Remember the schlong. How are you feeling in this moment compared to what you've usually given yourself body consent? Because did you actually give you consent for this over there? Did you feel like I'm actually doing this and feeling okay with it?
I did it and I got naked, and that was fine. But when I started walking down here, I started feeling like a little bit like
I noticed every
there's
part
like
of my body.
butterflies in my tummy, you know, like jittery, So one thing that's good to do if you're ever in a position where you feel uncomfortable, just name the sensation in your body. Like I feel right now, it's really weird. I feel like this like tingling sensation on the top of my thighs, just above my knees.
I felt wind.
I've
been naked before, but it's always been like I've been rushing into the water, or I've been standing on top of a mountain with my cup in my bowl. I've never actually just stopped and opened my legs a bit and felt wind in my nether bits. But what about with the whole feeling of you and I? This feels fine.
Yeah.
I feel Cara feels safe to me.
That's,
this is nice.
Well, that's a credit to you too, because women, and I think the reason that there's more men at the nudity beach than there are women is that women are particularly sensitive to feeling safe. Yeah.
Nudity. Yeah. We see each other. You have a body. I have a body. I haven't named my penis yet. Have you ever named my penis?
No.
Why not?
By that face, I don't think she'll be naming it anytime soon.
But yeah, it's very interesting that this is feeling less like genitalia to me and more just like I enjoy wind.
Yeah. Just body parts.
It's actually such a nice feeling.
At this stage, I wasn't uncomfortable, but it still felt strange. And it wasn't until I was in the water that I felt the true sensation of not having clothes on as a restriction. And honestly, it was an incredible feeling. All of a sudden, in my mind and my body, I didn't feel naked, but present in the moment. It's like I felt all of my body for the first time, sensations I've never felt before. It was a strange and euphoric energy and aura that was covering my body, and it felt natural, like I'd blended into all my surroundings. Even trying to explain the feeling now feels like I'm trying to sell you some sort of spiritual pyramid scheme. But in all honesty, it was a pure experience I felt that I think you can only understand in the moment.
We are coming to a conclusion.
So proud of you.
Thank you.
So happy for you.
This honestly, I didn't think that being naked in the ocean would feel so different. But like in such like, I want to say the word orgasmic because it's the only fucking word I can think of right now. It's such a full body experience. It was a weird energy feeling and it felt like the water felt different. Like I felt there was no constrictions of clothing. Like it did feel very freeing. Fuck, I think I'm a nudist. I'd like to thank Cara and her stunningly beautiful husband, Toff. You thought I was going to say breasts, weren't you? I'd like to thank Cara for taking us on this journey. We might even revisit Cara for other journeys outside of nudity, but this has been a lot of fun. Now cue narration.
So, what makes you comfortable in the skin that you're in? A question that can't be answered in a short video like this. All I know is that it's taught me that I have a lot of shame in my life connected with sexuality, from my upbringing to my current day mistakes. And while this was an incredible feeling, it doesn't fix our deep habits and mindsets. Another thing I learned is I needed to be more kinder to my body and kinder to myself. Also, the point of consent for my own body, I'd never considered it, and something I'm going to explore a lot more. The experience with Cara was an incredible awakening of endless possibilities with loving yourself for your body, your mind, and life. I hope this video will show you a different perspective, challenge you to be kinder to yourself, and realize that our natural beauty is more than what society tells us. If you want to go deeper into this journey, head to the link in our description and you can reach out to Cara, who helps individuals and couples daily, or you can purchase her book, How to Be Naked. And if you want to see the full conversation and behind the scenes footage of this video, you can head to our YouTube memberships and become a Risky member. Be kind to your body, be kind to yourself. And yes, here's a fun fact. Once the camera switched off, my very, very old, decrepit, jealous wife joined us and became a nudist. Thank you for watching. I wonder what I'll become next.